Welcome, and thank you for taking the time to view the Let's Go Fishing of Minnesota Safety Program. At Let's Go Fishing, safety is always our top priority. This program is intended to provide you, the volunteer, with all the tools necessary to host a successful and safe Let's Go Fishing excursion. Regular training is important for all Let's Go Fishing volunteers. It is the Let's Go Fishing policy to deliver safe and enjoyable outings for our guests. By participating in the training procedure, you demonstrate our commitment to providing a reliable and consistent service. This program is intended to help Let's Go Fishing volunteers deliver consistent, high-quality service while safely operating all Let's Go Fishing watercraft, prevent personal injury and property damage, ensure the safety and enjoyment of our guests, increase the comfort level for both guests and volunteers, maintain lower program insurance costs. At Let's Go Fishing, we pride ourselves in the responsible use of our state's natural resources. As a Let's Go Fishing volunteer, please remember you are representing our entire organization when you are on the water. Accidents cannot be predicted, but they can be prevented. All Let's Go Fishing volunteers and guests are expected to comply with all fishing and boating laws and regulations. In addition, all Let's Go Fishing participants and volunteers must abide by these rules. All riders must wear a personal flotation device, or PFD. This includes each guest, care center staff, and crew. In case of an emergency, there will not be time to put on a PFD. Absolutely no alcohol, smoking, or use of illegal drugs are allowed on any Let's Go Fishing watercraft at any time. Captains and assistants are not permitted to consume alcoholic beverages within 10 hours of a scheduled outing. Guests must remain seated while the watercraft is moving. You must be at least 18 years of age to tow or operate any watercraft used for a Let's Go Fishing outing and have a valid driver's license in the state of your primary residence. Safety starts when you first pick up the Let's Go Fishing pontoon. Visually check the pontoon inside and out for any damage. Check the tension on the tie-down straps. Confirm the towing vehicle has a 2-inch ball hitch. You will find the size indicated on top of the ball hitch. Do not use a vehicle with a smaller ball size, as this may cause the coupler to come off the ball or the pontoon to become unhitched while driving. Careful hookup of the pontoon to your towing vehicle is critical. Back under the hitch, lower the jack so the coupler is on the ball hitch. Secure both latch and latch pin. Attach safety chains. Chains should be crossed at least one time. This creates a cradle for the tongue to drop into and will prevent it from hitting the roadway in the event of a coupler failure. To prevent chains from dragging on the roadway, more than one crossover or twist may be needed. Move the tongue jack into the travel or stored position. Connect the trailer light plug. Turn on parking lights and the 4-way flashers. Confirm that both rear lights are working. 4-way flashers indicate brake lights are connected and working. Before leaving for the lake, you will want to look over your watercraft to verify it is in proper working order. Check the electrical system, including the horn, live well, depth, and fish locator. Check the fuse block, and verify there are extra fuses. Check the condition of the propeller. If you see nicks and dents, notify your pontoon maintenance person. Be sure to inform your assistant or captain before the trip. This will let them know to watch or feel for unusual vibrations caused by the damage, indicating a more serious problem with the propeller. The day box, also referred to as the white box, will contain much of the information and tools for your trip. Be sure to verify the day box has duty, assignment, and checklists, instruction and report forms, wet wipes, Ziploc bags, comment cards, and your first aid kit. Store any loose items and/or equipment that may blow out or get lost on the way to the landing. Make sure the tires are not flat or low. If you have access to pressurized air, you should fill any low tires. You may also fill the tire at a gas station on the way to the lake. Check mirrors for your field of view. You will need an adequate view of both the right and left sides of the boat. Remove the wheel chocks. It is very important to verify that the first aid kit is fully stocked. If you use any of the items in the day box or first aid kit, you must advise the pontoon maintenance person to restock the item prior to the next excursion. In the event of a serious injury requiring immediate medical attention on the water, you should call 911. If possible, and with the direction of emergency personnel, return to the nearest landing and wait for medical help to arrive. All injuries, from minor cuts to serious accidents, will need to be reported. Injuries requiring advanced medical attention need to be reported to your local board member as soon as reasonably possible. The local board member will contact the state office. A written report from the captain of the outing shall be submitted to the local board member immediately after the trip. The chapter officer will forward a copy to Let's Go Fishing State Office. This report should include date and time of incident, name and telephone numbers of injured person, crew, and passengers. If applicable, the name and location of the facility where injured party resides. Detailed description of incident and injuries. Photographs of injuries. The name and address of emergency care facility where treatment was received. If the incident is the result of a watercraft accident, the County Sheriff's Water Patrol must be notified. Any watercraft accident involving personal injury or the combined property damage of over $2,000 must be reported to the county sheriff. The operator is required to send in an accident report to the Minnesota DNR. The Let's Go Fishing Safety Coordinator will be notified and will provide a follow-up investigation. Leaving equipment behind may limit the fun for your guests and increase the potential for accidents. For each excursion, make sure you have your trip checklist, a complete first aid kit, a landing net, enough bottled water for each guest, GPS unit to find hotspots and to avoid rocks and sandbars. For larger lakes, a marine radio may be needed. A cell phone for emergencies is ideal. If fishing, enough poles, tackle boxes, and bait for each guest. Don't forget to have the right bait for the species you will be fishing. Any watercraft used for a Let's Go Fishing excursion shall have the following safety equipment. A Type 3 PFD for each and every passenger and crew member. A Type 4 throwable device. It does not need to be attached to a rope. It is intended to be thrown to someone that falls overboard, or if you need to assist another boater or swimmer in distress. 2 digger anchors with at least 100 feet of rope. 2 dock bumpers with 4 feet of rope. All watercraft used for a Let's Go Fishing excursion will have 15 PFDs, 12 jacket style, 2 inflatable, and 1 throwable. Sizes shall range from medium to extra large, and each should be in good working order. The 2 auto-inflatable PFDs are intended for wheelchair guests. If there are no guests using wheelchairs, the crew is permitted to use them. Life vests must be worn at all times. The auto-inflatable PFD should be checked once a week to see that the carbon dioxide cylinder has not been discharged. You will find the red indicator pin on the face of the actuator. There are 3 methods of inflating this type of PFD. 1. The automatic actuator gets wet. A small fizz tablet dissolves and the spring-loaded pin punctures the cylinder filling the vest. 2. The red pull tab is jerked, puncturing the cylinder and filling the vest. 3. By orally inflating through a valve tube on the left side of the vest. The bold and visible graphic on the Let's Go Fishing pontoon will let everyone know who you are. Drive the speed limit and obey all traffic laws. Watch when making turns, as the trailer will turn tighter than your vehicle. Use your mirrors when changing lanes. Check twice before making a turn or changing lanes. Be cautious on curves. Driving too quickly may cause the pontoon to tip over. You should have the boat in the water 30 minutes prior to the scheduled departure. When you arrive at the landing, please practice access courtesy. If the area is busy, park in a location that does not block traffic. While waiting your turn, you may remove tie-downs and safety chains. Load up extra trip equipment you may have in your vehicle. Raise the motor so it won't hit the access slabs while backing up. Raise up one or both of the canopies. Check to see the transmission is in neutral. Tie the dock bumpers onto the rail. Take your time to carefully load the watercraft into the water. When the ramp is clear, pull forward to adequately line up straight to the ramp. With assistance from your crewmate, back into the water alongside of the dock. Back in deep enough so the pontoon is floating nearly clear of the trailer. The trailer is a bunk style and the pontoon is heavy. It will be difficult to slide the pontoon off if it is not clear of the bunks. Disconnect the winch cable and float the pontoon off the trailer. Your crewmate should hold the pontoon close to the dock, using the boat bumpers as a cushion. The driver can pull the trailer out of the water and park. Lower the motor into the water. While tied to the dock, check that the transmission is in neutral and start your engine. If you turn the key and nothing happens, recheck that the shift lever is in the neutral position. The binnacle-style shifter sometimes does not click into the neutral slot and will not allow the engine to turn over. The 4-cycle motor on the Let's Go Fishing boats are quiet running motors. You need to listen for when it starts and check to see that water is squirting out the back of the motor. This confirms the water pump is working and cooling the engine. Prior to your guest's arrival, you will want to run through a few more items to help make your trip successful. Clear the deck and prep the seating area. This includes removing seats to make room for any wheelchairs. Remember, the maximum capacity for the Let's Go Fishing pontoon is 12. The addition of wheelchairs does not increase occupancy. For safety reasons, there must be available seating for 12 individuals at all times. This includes guests, aides, and crew. Turn on the depth fish locator and adjust the settings. In the event your guests will be keeping their fish, install water level tube drain plug in the live well. Secure the loading door in the open position. Now it's time to put on your PFD. This is for your safety and shows our guests that they must wear one too. When your guests arrive, one crew member should warmly greet and welcome them in the parking lot. Remind guests to use the restroom prior to boarding and direct them to the nearest restroom facility. Inform guests of the mandatory PFD policy. Check with the medical aid staff for information about any medical or physical conditions you need to be aware of. Advise the guests that you need to escort them individually onto the dock and pontoon for safety reasons. The rest must wait or be escorted by the medical aid staff that came along. Be sure to help each guest with their PFD. Make sure it is in good working condition and fits properly. Escort each individual guest onto the dock and into a seated position on the watercraft. Guests in wheelchairs should be seated after the ambulatory guests. Remember, wheelchair guests do not add another seat to your occupant capacity. You may need to remove seats to make room for wheelchairs. Assist any escort staff with those guests in a wheelchair. When loading, wheelchairs should be placed in the middle third of the deck area. Roll the wheelchair backward through the door. This will prevent the smaller front wheels from dropping into or getting stuck in the transition area between the dock and boat deck. Place guest facing forward and lock the brakes. After the guests are boarded, the assistant unties the pontoon from the dock and pushes it away slightly. Once on board, the door is closed and latched. When leaving the dock, the captain should turn the steering in the direction away from the dock. The motor should be put in reverse to back out. When the motor is turned away from the dock and in reverse, the boat will pull away from the dock quicker. Once clear of the dock, adjust your turn to get you pointed in the right direction. Once you are on your way, maintain a comfortable speed for weather and wave conditions. All guests must remain seated while the watercraft is moving. As you approach the fishing location, turn the bow into the wind. Watching the depth on your fish locator, go beyond the spot. Deploy the anchors in an outward angle of approximately 60 degrees from the front of the pontoon. Once deployed, either power back and set the anchors into the lake bed or allow the wind to tighten the rope. Begin handing out equipment and setting rods with bait for each participating guest. For larger fish, a landing net should be used. Reaching over the rail could result in falling overboard. Please use caution. Let's Go Fishing encourages catch and release. However, if a guest wants to keep their fish, you may place it in the live well. Be sure to take some pictures. These are a great memory for your guests and can be used to promote your program. It has been a great trip, and it is now time to head home. Secure the hooks on the rods and place out of the way. Reseat passengers and check brakes on wheelchairs. Remind all guests to remain seated while the watercraft is underway. Pass out the comment cards for guests to complete. When taking up the anchor, the captain will start the engine and pull forward, causing the anchor rope to become slack. The assistant should pull up the anchors. In the event one or both anchors hold extremely well, have the captain pull forward beyond the anchor point. This maneuver may cause the anchor to release. Return to the lake access at a comfortable speed for both conditions and weather. When approaching the dock, use a very slow speed. Use reverse to come to a complete stop approximately 10 feet from the dock. Put the motor in and out of forward gear and reverse so you can slowly approach the dock. The assistant will tie off the dock using the bumper to protect the pontoon sides. Collect the comment cards. Advise guests to remain seated on the boat until you are ready to escort them off. Assist all wheelchair passengers off first. Escort the ambulatory guests second. Be sure to say goodbye and thank them for joining you on a Let's Go Fishing excursion. It is now time to load the pontoon back onto the trailer. Turn motor off and raise for removal from the water. Float pontoon onto trailer against boat stops. Attach the winch cable. Slowly pull watercraft out of the water to the parking area. Attach the boat safety chain, tie downs, and store any remaining loose equipment. Lower and store canopies. Drain live wells. Check the undercarriage of the trailer for any vegetation. All vegetation must be removed before leaving the access area. Be sure to turn off all electrical equipment. Some may not turn off with the key. Dry, clean, and stow away all PFDs. Return the watercraft to the storage location. Remember to drive safely. Chalk wheels and disconnect from towing vehicle. Check for repairs and other matters of attention. Make note and report them to the pontoon maintenance person. At the end of your run, complete any run information reports your chapter may require, and be sure to send the information to the appropriate person. Make note of any needed repairs or problems and report them to the pontoon maintenance person. Every great day on the water starts with safety. On behalf of the entire Let's Go Fishing organization, thank you for sharing your time. The lives you touch and the memories you help make are the core of our work. It is through the generous spirit of individuals like you that we are able to reach thousands of seniors each year. Here's to a great day on the water, filled with fun, laughter, and of course, great fishing.